Yo, what is happening, you pile shuffling pupils are? So today we're playing a game with Frank Percic's Whimsicott that they managed to take second place at EUIC with. We open this Whimsicott V here. We are whiffing the energy, but we do have the Ultra Ball in hand, so if our Crobat isn't prized, we can go ahead and find our Crobat and maybe get an energy. It's super important to be super aggressive with this deck, I feel like. So we're gonna get aggressive here. I'm gonna start with the Evolution Incense to see what's cracking. Crobat's there. I think we're going to fail it. Yeah, we want an energy attachment turn 1. We have a lot of outs. I think it's worth going for. And we want to get off a turn 2 attack as well. So I think I want to be aggressive and hold the research over the Marnie here. Go for the Crobat. Hold the Crushing Hammer as well. I will throw the Air Balloon down on the Whimsicott. And then let's go ahead and Crobat for some cards. No energy, though. All right, that's a little bit unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. Do want to kind of set up our barrel. Have the option of it next turn, so I'm going to give up the Evolution Incense and the Whimsicott. Keep the Crushing Hammer is just such a good card in this deck. I just want to keep that around. Gonna have to go like this then, I guess, and pass to my opponent. Yeah, don't want to lose the Crushing Hammer because we need to like somehow regain tempo at this point. We've lost the tempo we could have gained by being able to be the first person to attack. So now we got to kind of regain the tempo by getting some Crushing Hammer heads. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. So that's what we're going to look for. They did open the Dunsparce, so we know they are playing an Arceus deck. We know they're playing Arceus for sure. The question is, what kind of Arceus? There's a lot of kinds of Arceus that they could be playing. So that's kind of the question here. What kind of Arceus are they rocking? Moltres, just straightforward. Probably some builds I've never even seen before of Arceus that they could be playing. It looks like it is the Dark Arceus. But throw out a Crushing Hammer. The Tails. Unfortunate. Air Balloon to Bidoof and Research. I actually think if I get a basic Psychic Energy here, and I did, I'm actually going to go KO their Sobble here with my Fluff Star. Boom, Fluff Ball Star, remove the Sobble from play. This takes away the option of the Shady Dealings. Also, in the current situation, we threw down our Stadium. Usually, these Arceus decks do play a way to bump Path to the Peak because it's pretty annoying to deal with when you have an ability like Starbirth that basically fully sets you up for the game. So if we can take away their Starbirth with the Path to the Peak, take away their Sobble, which means it's going to be hard for them to get access to Starbirth because they're probably not going to be able to find their one-of Stadium. Usually there's like a one-of Stadium in most of these Arceus decks, and they usually use Shady Dealings to find it when they need it. But when we got this kind of play going on, I can't really find it. So I'm going to go ahead, get rid of that Sobble from play. So now they need a Scoop Up Net to move the Dunsparce, and they would be able to attack. They did find the DT. They did find the Arceus. The question is, did they find the Stadium or a Scoop Up Net to use that Starbirth? And if not, we got a pretty good hand on our next turn. We got the DTE, and we've got the Fan of Waves to set my opponent back a little bit more. So I got the Fan of Waves, going to go ahead and use that. Remove the DTE from play. I'm going to go ahead and DTE to the active myself. Quick Ball away. I think the Avery here. Yeah, let's get rid of that Avery. Get another Whimsicott to start setting up, and then go ahead and play the Marnie, and then we've got that Trick Wind, and we're looking for the Tool Scrapper here. I don't really like that Choice Belt. The Choice Belt's not a huge deal. I don't like it, but it's actually not a huge deal the more I think about it. Boom, remove that energy, though, and now we're cruising, and this is the power of Whimsicott, and we are turn slow this game as well. But the Fluffball Star really set them behind. I could have grabbed another Whimsicott there, but I don't really want to put down another thing that I potentially have to retreat, so we're going to go ahead and just chill on that. Yeah, I probably should have grabbed the Whimsicott there, to be honest. We're gonna chill with this hand though. I like to keep the. I'm gonna keep the Fall Crystal around instead of using it now to have like another target for Ultra Ball to potentially Ultra Ball away. If I draw something I want to Ultra Ball away, then I can also Ultra Ball away that. But yeah, completely reset their Arceus, and now we're swinging. Level Ball coming down. Now they can use their Drizzile. Now they can bump my Stadium and use. Okay, so now we could probably get attacked here, to be honest, because now my opponent can go. Now my opponent can go bump the Stadium. Use the Starbirth. Oh no, but they won't be able to put a DTE in play. I was like, all right, and then they're gonna be able to go Raihan for DTE. Maybe they get a Scoop Up Net, but they actually can't attach the DTE right now. So we're still in a really good spot, actually. Yeah, I take back what I was saying before. We're still in a ridiculously good spot. They're just gonna eye up a Research off the Shady Dealings. They got a Sobble for themselves as well. There goes the Research. Scoop Up Nets. There goes another DTE. Yeah, so we're safe for a little while. We actually have time to like find another Crushing Hammer and potentially reset my opponent back even further. One thing I have to be really careful of is actually running out of energy to my opponent's like boss's orders, like them bossing stuff and me harder treating it. I do have to be careful with that now because both of our Air Balloons are in play And maybe it's best I didn't get that other put that other Whimsicott in play, to be honest, the more that I think about it. So we're going to go down with the Whimsicott. We don't have a ton of energy left. That's like another. We don't have a ton of energy left. I'm going to go with a DTE there. I could boss hit the Arceus. I actually think I like the idea of. I'm going to burn this. Check the deck. So we have 3 energy left in the deck. Okay, we have another DTE. We have an extra DTE to work with. We're low on psychic energy, though. I'm going to keep all my psychics. Oh, I need to find EXP shares, actually. That's what I need to do. DTE here. So I could boss the Arceus, or I could just hit the active. But I don't want them to set up like a Charon's Care play. Also, if I take a knockout this turn, and then they can use Raihan and set up an Arceus to hit with. So I think I'm just going to boss the Arceus here. Attach to the Whims. Draw 3 cards. Add to the peak. Fog Crystal. All right. Trick Wind. Yeah, so now if I had taken a knockout this turn, they'd be able to Raihan to the Arceus. But if I boss the Arceus, they could Charon's Care this turn and kind of reset the play. But that gives me time to find like a Crushing Hammer, and then Crushing Hammer away the energy, and then take a knockout, which means the Raihan won't even be able to like let them get an attack off. So that actually like lines up pretty well still as well. So yeah, I kind of like this. I like this boss play, I think, here. I think we will be seeing a Charon's Care from my opponent overall. And we'll keep the Choice Belt out of play, which is kind of nice. I guess that doesn't do too much, though, to be honest. The more that I think about like the Choice Belt mattering, it just doesn't kind of just doesn't matter. It also lets them send up the Inteleon now, and then I can't kill the Inteleon. Maybe it would have been better if I had just taken the knockout there on the Drizzile. Well, we'll see. They've got a Marnie and a Training Court. That is not a Charon's Care, but maybe they have the Charon's Care in hand, and they're just getting the Marnie for next turn. Of course, this is the Dark build, which means they probably only play like 1 Charon's Care. There's an E-Switch grab, Training Court for an energy. Okay, they're loading up the Baby Moltres, so they will be able to hit me with Baby Moltres here. Maybe? No, E-Switch up. Oh, super cool play from my opponent, actually. The Baby Moltres comes down. The E-Switch up to the Arceus. That's actually a super cool play right there. Really like that play. Another Arceus comes down. Can Avery next turn to limit their bench a bit, but I'm sure they'll be comfortable with discarding the Moltres, or yeah, probably just discarding the Moltres. But if they actually bench another Sobble here, the Avery actually could put them in a little bit of an awkward situation. But they're grabbing a Zigzagoon instead. Ooh, I think they're setting up for... Yeah, this Choice Belt's actually going to matter here. If they get off the attack this turn, then the quick shooting on the next turn could actually take out my Whimsicott. So this is actually going to make things a little bit awkward for me, as long as they get the energy here off the Marnie. But if they whiff the energy, we're in a pretty good spot. We found ourselves that EXP share, which is great. We found ourselves a Crushing Hammer as well. So once they load up some energy on a bench Arceus, we'll be able to remove that energy from play and potentially limit their attack options with the next Arceus. But yeah, the quick shooting next turn is going to be pretty annoying. There's nothing really I can do about it. Their Starbirth is happening already. If I do get a Marnie here, it's possible they would whiff the quick shooting. They are down 2 Evolution Instants and 1 Ultra Ball, and they usually play like a 2-2 split of those. So they have like 1 Ultra Ball and the quick shooting itself left in the deck to have an out to the quick shooting. So it is possible that that could be our route to victory here. If not, we're going to have to come up with something else, but I wouldn't mind finding the Marnie to stop them from finding the quick shooting, because I'm sure they're grabbing the quick shooting off the Starbirth here, or just like an out to maybe be able to find it, or some other way to draw cards. They could find like a net to reset this Inteleon to have access to Drizzile for the Shady Dealings next turn. Something like that would be pretty reasonable, to be honest. Of course, this does still make me question if I should have maybe just knocked out that Inteleon on my last turn, just knocked out the Drizzile before instead of bossing this. Still unsure about that play overall, to be honest, because taking away their Drizzile is pretty good, completely limits their options. Even if I'm more likely to get hit next turn through a Raihan play, it still puts me in a pretty good spot to maybe just have taken that out instead. But we want the boss on the Arceus. This still feels like we're in an okay spot, but it's going to definitely be a close game from here for sure. Definitely in still a pretty close one. Just hoping that we can come out on top. We got the EXP share now in our hand as well, which is a super big deal. And we might actually even give up our B-Barrel next turn, or I could send up a Bidoof instead, because I don't really want to give them a 2-prize Pokemon. And it's I definitely want a Marnie here, because it definitely seems like a boss, them taking a boss into their hand right here to make sure they can kind of target what they want would be a pretty big deal. And actually, they're actually out of Scoop Up Net. I just realized that. They're down both their Scoop Up Net, so no more resetting of their... Oh, nope, there's another one. I was going to say that I thought they were out. I was like, all right, they're... Oh, they actually can KO my active here. They got the Scoop Up Net. They can Trinity Nova knock it out this turn. Oh, no, that's actually super bad. Okay, I got to find a Psychic Energy now. Okay, I didn't think they could get the knockout this turn. That is not something I was expecting at all. But only 1 Dark Energy to the bench Arceus, so a Crushing Hammer hedge here is going to be huge. Let's see what our top deck is. It is that Marnie. I do need to get this EXP share down. Oh, wait, we have the Training Court. That's actually huge. Yeah, the training court here is huge, actually. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and training court, get that psychic. I guess I could have waited on that, to be honest. Throw that down. And I have the Marnie to work with as well, so we're actually in a really good spot. Tails on the crushing hammer. All right, gonna go with the Marnie. Should have waited on the training court use, to be honest. I didn't have to do that right now. I could have waited. Tool Scrapper, a little bit late. But I think I'm gonna use it here anyways, just to get out of my hand. We plan to attack with the Trick Wind for the rest of the game, so it shouldn't be a big deal. Just go ahead and use it. I think grabbing this Whimsicott will be fine here, because they shouldn't be able to, like, boss KO it. And then Industrious Incisors. Tools are, yeah, EXP share is not as important anymore. Just gonna go ahead and retreat and hit here. Trick Wind for the KO. This is definitely a close one. We get this KO, we're gonna get 2 prize cards. We also got the Marnie off, which disrupts them. They're out of Scoop Up Net, so they can't reset their Inteleon. They're also out of, they don't have any Sobbles or Drizziles in play, so they're kind of like living off the top deck here. They don't have their Starbirth to work with either. They're out of Starbirth. So yeah, basically living off the top deck here for sure. And Raihan is really the only out I see for my opponent to actually be able to have a chance to get back into this one. They don't have Shady Dealings to get it. Oh, they could play 2 Shady Dealings in Inteleon. Actually, I take that back. I take that back. They could play 2 Shady Dealings in Inteleon. And they do. Okay. Second Shady Dealings in Inteleon coming out. I'm actually a big fan of 2 Shady Dealings myself, so I caught myself for a second there, and I was like, hold on. They might have second Shady Dealings. I was like thinking they might not, because it looked like they were setting for that quick shooting play on the last turn, and I think by how slow they played that previous turn, I think they do play quick shooting. They were debating between netting the Zigzagoon now, but using a net on that, and using probably their last net. I doubt they play 4 Scoop Up Net in here. They definitely could, and like trying to wait for the quick shooting play. Here comes a level ball for a Drizzile, and there was a research that was not. That was a research. Yeah, that's not... Research is not... research is not Raihan, if you guys didn't know. So it's either prized, or they just don't have the attack here with the Arceus. Unless I'm missing something. Maybe they play a second E-Switch, and they can go another Baby Moltres, and then E-Switch again, and then attach, and then attack with the Arceus. I guess that's something that could happen. But no, it looks like that is not the play for my opponent. Got another Whimsicott to come down here. I want to hold the boss for sure. I have another DTE left, so I'm going to go Ultra Ball away, research in the energy, thin those out, grab nothing. I don't want to set up the B-Bear like I mentioned, so like another thing we'd potentially have to move and retreat around. Going to go with the Crushing Hammer. Tails. Could have saved that, to be honest. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I think I could have saved that Crushing Hammer. Going to draw with B-Barrel first, and then we'll use the Training Court to get the energy back out of the discard pile, because I do want to put Path to the Peak in play here to take away the Training Court from my opponent. You know, I'll get my value out of it. Take it away from them. I don't even know if I want to Avery here. I might just go ahead and swing. Maybe I should Avery. I only have 12 cards. One thing that I've actually come up to a couple times with this deck is actually like decking out. So I do have to be careful. Yeah, I think I should Avery here. I think it's fine. I have 9 cards left in deck. Plenty of ways to move my Pokemon around. So not really a big concern there. Go throw the XP on the bench one, I think, and then Trick Wind for 140. So my opponent can't move this Arceus. We do just win, and if they can move the Arceus, it would have to be with the Charon's Care, and if they're doing the Charon's Care, basically the only way to attack would be with a Baby Moltres, which would only hit my Whimsicott for 220 damage, and then we have 30 HP left. They can't attach like a Choice Belt even if they have one, so they could hit us for 220 after they Charon's Care the Arceus, bench of Baby Moltres. But no, there's the concede, and yeah, the disruption did work in this one. Slow down the initial Arceus, got ahead in the prize exchange, and there at the end, they couldn't even make a second Arceus to work with. Still unsure about that play in the middle of the game where I went for the boss KO the Arceus over just hitting the Drizzile. Wasn't really sure about that play, to be honest. Went with one route over the other. Turned out to be fine. Overall, I guess it worked out. We still won, but I'm still not sure about that play, to be honest. KO and Drizzile there was still pretty solid. Definitely might have done it differently if I went back and replayed that game. But as always, guys, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.